This is the Elijah Haahr Show.
Well, last night, the 7th Congressional District Debate happened in studios. What we've done is we've chopped and cut and pasted and taken all the highlights and the lowlights and have them for you today. We're going to talk about best answers, worst answers. I'm just going to start with what I thought was the best answer of the night. In the second half of the debate, one of the questions was, how would you stand out in Congress? There's 435 U.S. House of Representatives. How would you stand out in Congress? Pastor Alex Bryant, I thought, hit this question out of the ballpark.
It's natural for me to stand out. If those watching on Facebook right now, I stand out. I'm the only one here with a bald head. And I'm just going to put the elephant in the room. And when you look at the 435 members of the House of Representatives, 58 of them are black, 56 are Democrat. That's exactly how the squad, Pelosi, and Biden passed their radical agenda, because they want to say to all of the good people of Southwest Missouri, if you don't go along with it, you're xenophobic, you're homophobic, or you're racist. Well, I stand against that. I married a lady that is a white Caucasian lady. We've been married for 26 years. I'm tired of my kids being told in school that half their family's inherently racist and the other half is victims. I reject that, and I'll stand up and I'll speak out and I'll say the people of Southwest Missouri are good people, and we reject all that.
I think that clip was great. I think the response is perfect. One, there's levity in it. You know, he builds it up. He's the only African American in the race. He builds it up and then says, well, the difference is I'm bald. I'll stand out because I'm bald. But then he really hammers it home. He says, listen, the voters of Southwest Missouri are not racist. They're not xenophobic. They are not misogynist. I will stand up for them against the squad. And what he's implying there is that, listen, there's 56 black Democrats in the U.S. House. There's 2 black Republicans. He's coming from Southwest Missouri to take our values up there. And he's like, I can say it as a black Republican, and they can't attack me like they can attack everybody else on the stage. I thought it was the answer of the night. Because right now, you know, you send somebody up there, they all kind of get lost in the shuffle. If he gets elected, he essentially made the point. I'm going to be on, everybody's going to want my opinion because I am very different from everybody else running. I thought it was the best answer of the night, setting him aside from everybody else. Next, we're going to give our winners and losers in the debate. I think most people perceive this as a two-person race. Some would say this race is really down to, at this point, is Eric and Jay. I sort of disagree. I think there's still a path. There's enough undecided voters. Alex was sort of the new thing, the fresh thing. Winner of the debate last night. Overall, if I'm picking a winner, I'm going to give Alex Bryant the win as well. You know, his closing was strong.
There's some people that have done a great job here in the state. And I think that just like other career politicians, just like other career football players, their time's over. They didn't spend it in the U.S. House. They chose to spend it here. But we're ready for new leadership, fresh new leadership, a fresh voice, my voice. And so I'm asking you to send me to Washington, D.C. And here's the deal. I know that I wasn't the candidate that probably many of you thought about from the beginning, because I got into this race late. But just like my wife and I, who we've been married for 26 years, I wasn't the first guy she was engaged to. But we see I put the ring on her finger. There's still time on August 2nd. I'm asking you to remember your ABCs and vote Alex Bryant for Congress.
I think that, as far as closing statements, again, a little humor, but also he packs his punch. He separates himself. They've all been in office for a while. They had their chance. Now it's mine. So he reiterates the sort of outsider thing. Then he does the story about his wife, which I think is really hilarious, because he's like, listen, she was engaged and then I met her and I'm the guy that married her. And he's sort of reminding the voters, hey, you may be thinking about another candidate. You may be pledged to another candidate, but give me a chance and I'll close the deal with you. And then he drops his do the ABCs, Alex Bryant for Congress. I thought it was the most succinct closing punch in the event. I'm going to give Alex Bryant the win.